Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Butterfly Lissa, and this channel is Butterfly Healing. This is our fourth video, and hopefully you have been watching them in order. If you have not, you should go back and do that. So let's just get straight into it, right? So a few things that I want to talk about in this video. For those of y'all that are astrological people, full moon in Scorpio is coming up. And this moon is going to affect a very large amount of us. Every astrological shift or planetary shift or whatever does not affect everybody, but this one is definitely going to. I'm not an astrologist, but I try to pay attention to stuff like that so that I can know, what the hell to expect myself, and also since I'm doing this channel now, what the hell to tell y'all to expect. All right, so full moon in Scorpio is the perfect time for us to go ahead and roll into doing shadow work. The full moon is going to bring up a lot of, moon deals with emotions. So the moon being in Scorpio is going to bring up a lot more darker side, shadow emotions and feelings, things that we don't see and feel within ourselves all the time. So, I want for y'all to go ahead it happens on the 7th, which is Thursday. Today is Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. But once Thursday hits, I want y'all to go ahead and do a little bit of research about what type of releases and lunar rituals that you could do if you want to do rituals. Just do something that's gonna help you spiritually. But this part of it, I think that it's spiritual work, and it's something that you have to talk about spiritually, but it's not necessarily all that spiritual. This is everyday shit, what I'm about to talk about in this video, right? So the last video, I talked about ego and how we have to let go and confront our ego in order to be able to do shadow work. And I want it, or spiritual work. And I want it to be I'm so excited, but at the same time, I'm not for this video, because this is like the hard part of healing, in my opinion, of spiritual healing. But I think that it was important to talk about ego first and how you have to confront that, because your ego, it keeps you from acknowledging your shadow self. And your shadow side basically is the part of yourself or your psyche that is hard to accept or acknowledge. Your ego is going to say, okay, this does not exist, or it's going to repress things. It's going to push a lot of negative feelings and emotions and things that are truly within us back, which we can't really be elevated and ascended if we don't accept and acknowledge those parts of ourselves. Like I said, the shadow side is the part of us what we don't understand. It's the part of us that still affects us despite us not being able to acknowledge it and understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's about, we basically ignore this part of ourselves. And I think that the shadow self can consist of a lot of pain. It can consist of a lot of personal attributes and characteristics that we don't want to see within ourselves. It can mean being a person that projects, a person that inflicts pain on other people unconsciously. But I think that you have to decide, like I said, all right, I'm not going to operate from a place of ego anymore. I'm not going to operate from a place of being in denial. So how can you start to do shadow work? Like I said, you first have to acknowledge your ego, and you have to say, I want to heal. I want to get better. I want to do whatever it takes to do that. Your ego can be so resistant and so forceful with reality and with, awareness and presence. Your ego can be like, I'm sad, but we gonna get up out of this. We gonna be all right quickly, you know what I'm saying? But your soul does not respond to resistance or force. You know, your soul accepts pain. It accepts sorrow. It accepts all of the negative things, or the things that we consider to be a negative. And it learns to change your humanistic perspective on pain and the shadow aspects of yourself. You know, like I said, when you begin to ascend and elevate, the most important part of it is understanding, like I said in the first video, the oneness and the duality of it all. You know, you have to accept the good and the bad. When our ego chooses to be forceful and resistant to the shadow side, it causes us to feel pain. That's where pain exists. That's where pain comes in at. You know what I'm saying? If you can think about all of the most painful moments that you've had, those are attached to your ego. Pain arises when we resist awareness and we resist being present. You know, when you say, okay, I'm feeling hurt right now, the pain is not even in the hurt. The pain comes when we don't sit and acknowledge the hurt. Pain comes when we can't sit and understand where the pain and hurt is coming from. And you know what? Shadow work does not only consist of acknowledging your pain, but I feel like pain is one of the easiest areas to kind of tap into, because shadow work, just like any other element or part of healing, is not something that's you just do it one time. Now, it does take time to get to the point where you can do it and implement it into your life every day. You know, that's called discipline. But there are ways that you can build upon it being in your life every day. You know, we're going to get into that too. I just want to tell y'all the best ways to get better and to do shadow work is to, whenever you feel pain or you feel hurt, be still. Like I said, tap into that awareness. Feel the pain. Understand the pain. Try to see where it's coming from. Observe the pain. Witness the pain, the emotion and the pain, and take the time. Take the time to, have enough elevation to change your perspective of the pain, right? So you have to do that. First, the way to do that is to feel it, acknowledge it, observe it, and get to the root of it. You don't start healing until you get to the root of it. You know, a lot of it is about stepping outside of the emotion of it and tapping more so into the logic of it. I don't know if that makes sense really. I wrote down a quote here that says, sometimes you got to get through the fear and the pain to see the beauty on the other side. And again, to me, that's all about metamorphosis. So with this full moon coming up, I want y'all to take the time, whether that be during the day or at night. Some of us are already feeling the shadow period of the full moon, you know, the pre-effects of it. And y'all might be having days right now or moments during the day where you just feel like this wave of like fucking sadness, you know, and that's like a return of things that you may not have dealt with, things that you may not have even known that were existent in you. And like I said, shadow work goes so much beyond pain, but pain is probably like the surface of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you are able to see the way that pain has cultivated you, the way that your pain and your traumatic experiences from childhood up until now has made you who you are, how you are, you know, the way that you react to things, all of that. So I feel like pain is where you start with it, you know. When y'all have these moments during this full moon, you know, because like I said, I feel like I've already experienced a little bit of it. You have these moments just to kind of sit with yourself and feel it. I promise you, like today, I woke up this morning. Every day is not like just sunny, bright for me every day, honestly. But I woke up this morning and I was upset about something, my computer. If you on my Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. But I was upset about that. But it was like, the sadness was so much deeper than just the damn computer. Like I was like just starting to roll into other thoughts and feelings that I was like, what the hell going on? So then I'm like, it's turning into anger a little bit, and I'm like, why is that? And I think the anger was coming because instead of me wanting to just feel the sadness, I was like, I really should not be sad about this shit. I should not be this sad about this shit. What the hell going on? I was being resistant. I was being forceful. I wanted to feel something else. But when I just was like, all right, this got me upset, and I just took the time to feel it, there was like this wave of peace. Even though I was sad, even though I was hurt, even though I was like upset, there was like this wave of peace that came over me when I just kind of was like, all right, bitch, you sad, you hurt, whatever. You know, there is something that comes when you acknowledge, you know. And I'm gonna tell y'all this because it was really important when I was doing the research and stuff about, I guess, explaining shadow work and all of that. I want for y'all, anytime that you feel pain, you feel triggered, or you know, something brings up something, a negative feeling or a negative emotion in you, I want you to stop, be still, and be present. I say that all the time, be present. I want you to pay attention to the pain. I want you to get comfortable with it. I want you to understand it. I want you to stop what you're doing. This is something that you can work to do every day in your life. Stop what you're doing, work on it, and do the work. All right. I don't want you to do nothing else. Once you get upset about something, I don't want you to do nothing else. I don't want you to move not another muscle unless you just got to. But don't ever push it to the back, all right? Otherwise, you're in an unsafe zone for you and for others. When we get hurt, what they said, hurt people? Yeah. When we get hurt, we allow pain to create an illusion of the world or existence or whatever for us. Like we're distorted at that point when we operate from, I guess, pain and all of that. And it causes us to hurt other people and sometimes hurt ourselves in that. So you got to deal with it. You got to heal yourself. You got to say, sometimes I am controlling. I want to control other people, other, you know, aspects of my life. You know, it comes out as manipulation. It comes out as this, as that. Why am I like that? Why do I do that? That's shadow work right there. Why do I do that? Because you are acknowledging that controlling side of yourself. You're trying to understand where it's coming from. You're seeing how it's affecting other people and affecting you. And then you can say, okay, it's okay. Control is an illusion, just like this pain is an illusion, you know, and I am higher than this, you know. You got to elevate above being your earthly, bodily self, you know. I don't want to tell you to disconnect from body, but when you learn to operate more so from your mind and your soul and your spirit and your heart, so many things will improve for you. So do that. Like, just see the stuff that you don't want to see within yourself. You know, if you gotta look in the mirror and see all black, look at the black and see why it's black. Okay, until we learn to see the pain and see the bad and see the negative and see the dark sides of ourselves and see the shadow, acknowledge it, that's when we can learn to love it and cultivate it and change, you know, those shadowistic perspectives and ways of thinking. So yeah, I don't know if I hit all the points. I feel like this video is so fast. It's 14 minutes right now. But that's what's gonna come with the full moon. Like I said, it's on May 7th. I don't know the time. You can look up the time specifically when you can see it. This full moon is another super moon, the last super moon. We've only got 2 super moons, which are full moons. That's like, the last one was the Libra moon in either April or March. Don't quote me, okay? And I did some work with that one too. I was not on YouTube, obviously, then. But with this one, like I said, it's really gonna be about your shadow work. And I wanted to say this: if y'all want to know, like, in-depthly, like specifically about what shadow work you can do for yourself, I want you to go look at your chart, your astrological natal chart, blah blah blah. Look at your 4th house, your 8th house, and your 12th house. Like I said, I'm not an astrologist, But I've been doing a lot of research on this for a little minute. Actually, I don't even know when I wrote that down, but I did look back at it before I got on the camera, and I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, so look at your 4th house, your 8th house, and your 12th house, and those will tell you, like, I can't remember specifically what they each tell you, but it will tell you more about I guess, like, where your struggles are in life and where you need to do some shadow work at, some acknowledgement and some healing. Yeah. So yeah, that's the gist of the video, is conquer that ego, you know, because the ego will deny that your shadow self exists. Something else that can help you do shadow work is you have friends and people in your life that truly love you and truly see you from like clear view. And these people may say something to you frequent that's like, you be doing this, you be doing that, and you like, I do not be doing that. Like, I'm not like that. Start paying attention to that, because we can see the shadow of other people a lot easier than we can see it of ourselves. So it's nothing wrong with getting a friend, getting some help from people, and allowing them to say, look, you doing this. That probably could tap into some therapy for y'all, for real. And let me say this also. Everybody's not ready to do shadow work. I know that some of us have gone through some experiences in life that are much more traumatic than others. So if shadow work for you means that you need to go and see a therapist, do that. Okay? I'm not telling y'all to open up a can of spoiled worms, not just worms, but spoiled worms that you cannot handle. But most of us can do the work on our own. But yeah, if you need therapy, do that. And yeah, about therapy, some of y'all are scared of doing the therapy, and that's okay. Some of your fears may be because you feel like it's not helpful. I've gone to therapy twice in my life at this point, and it's been helpful, definitely. You know, there's so many different types of therapists in therapy. I've had 2 different types, and yeah, they were totally different experiences. I know that we going through this pandemic. If you feel like you need therapy and you cannot get any, they do have options for virtual therapy. So you could do that. And oh yeah, and if you know you don't have the insurance or the funds to pay for it, they do have options for that as well. So I said all that to say, we're gonna do this work no matter what. Okay, I love y'all, and this is probably definitely not my favorite video, but I'm glad that I was able to get it done for y'all despite all of the technical difficulties that I have faced and within the prior few hours or days, whatever. Yep, so if you got this far in the video, comment that butterfly below. I think I forgot to say it in the last video, but whatever, comment that butterfly below from me. If you like it, like it. If you think somebody else might benefit from it, share it. Subscribe to my channel so you can continue this journey with us. I love y'all. Remember that you are never finished growing. You are never finished learning. Yeah, and I'm about to sign out. Peace, love, and light.